Earlier in the week, we were talking about the Best Buy app trick that allows people to get an Nvidia RTX 3000 GPU. And the good news is that many of you were able to get a GPU in stock at MSRP the very same day. But we also do have some bad news, is that maybe some of the Best Buys aren't playing fair. Some of the employees do get notice of these GPUs being in stock, and a lot of them are getting savvy to how much they're worth. I'm going to tell you guys what I heard, a lot of different stories that are coming out now. So this may actually be a really big unfair problem for the rest of the GPU buyers. So let's talk about it. Hey guys, Tiago with Classical Technology here. Remember to smash that like button if you like getting in-stock GPUs, basically the same day you look them up, like we used to be able to do back in the olden days. So smash that like button, and those days hopefully will soon be upon us. Now, let's talk about today's subject. We've been covering the Best Buy app trick, if you will. It's not exactly a trick. Here's basically what it is. Best Buy has been getting GPUs, and yes, the juicy RTX 3000 GPUs. Think of one that you want, the nicest, coolest one, maybe an Asus ROG Strix 3090. Best Buys have been getting them. So they've been getting them across the US intermittently, and this does not seem to work in Canadian Best Buy stores, as my viewers have let me know, but it does work in sort of the US Best Buy stores, which is still good news because a lot of people do live close to a Best Buy, as opposed to something like Micro Center, which is more spread out. So the basic premise is Best Buys have been getting these GPUs in stock, but they don't really show up as stock in the traditional sense on the app or on the website, and if you go in the store, rarely will they be on display sort of in the little glass case. The way that people have been able to find a GPU, myself included, I posted a video a few days ago where I went myself and I was able to see one in stock at 3080 Ti. This is basically what you have to do. You have to search for a graphics card or Nvidia or RTX or something like that in the Best Buy app. That's really the trick to this, in the app. And then it's going to show you everything that's potentially in stock or out of stock. Choose the store that's local to you or wherever you want to check. Toggle on and off in stock, and it should show you a GPU, but it's probably going to say out of stock and unavailable for pickup. And then after you toggle it on and off, you should be able to see that in the actual app. And then what you have to do, go into the store and ask one of the associates to look up the SKU number. If you ask them just to check for a GPU, they may say no or it's not in stock, but by the SKU number, they should be able to find one. And many of my viewers this past week, after I did my video, were able to get this GPU by this method, the various GPUs. Now, I didn't come up with this, little workaround or figure this out. I saw it on Twitter. There was a handle, I think, GPU Restock, that would mention it. It's been well known in different circles of people that have been looking for GPUs, but some people say, oh, it's no secret, but a lot of people didn't really know about this. And as I've gone through the week and read all the comments and had feedback from people that went, even with my own experiences, it is very cool that people are getting GPUs in stock at MSRP, but I think there may be some big problems with this method. And I'm going to talk about them now, as well as some potential sketchy behavior. Now, the first problem, why is Best Buy doing it this way? Now, I know it's good for us that know this little trick because we can go and other people may not be aware of this or may not be aware that it's in stock, but it never actually shows up in stock. And even in the app, it says sold out, not available for pickup. A regular person, even a tech-savvy gamer, is going to look at that and be like, it's the GPU shortage. It's not available at Best Buy, unfortunately. But if you know this little workaround, you can go ask for the SKU number, and in many cases, with my case included, we were able to get a GPU, as well as many of my viewers as well. You'll see down in the comments below, if you got a GPU, write it in there from this Best Buy sort of, little trick. Now, that's kind of a big problem because let's say if you're the typical, even tech-savvy gamer, let's say if you haven't seen it on my channel or you don't follow these Twitter accounts, you're never going to know about this sort of really weird trick. It says out of stock. Why would you go check? Why would you check a SKU number that says out of stock? So I understand there's a shortage going on, but, Best Buy isn't a company that's pandering to these type of, it's almost like a little loot box, like a little secret deal that you have to know to get the GPU. While it is cool for us that know it, I always like to think of the general gaming population or GPU buying population. If you're a crypto miner, it doesn't matter. I like to think of the fairness for everybody else, and especially in these GPU shortage times, if only the really savvy people know it, and the people that would be most aware of these type of tactics are the people that are constantly in the GPU GPU market. Like, for example, let's say people that resell them, or as I like to call them, the friendly neighborhood scalper. If they buy it at a cheaper price and the secondhand market is more, can't really blame them. That's what they're doing. But if they're the only ones that know these little tricks, and it's possible that they're going to know it much better than the average consumer because they follow these Twitter threads, they look out for it, while an average consumer may only buy a GPU once in a while to upgrade, certainly is going to be quite a bit unfair. If Best Buy has such a complex and intricate app system as well as online stores, they really have pretty advanced technology, and you know that they're aware of this because in even some GPU listings, I saw written on the bottom high demand item. So they're completely aware. They can't blame this on some type of like a glitch in their stock system. They're extremely aware of what they're doing, and this opens up a considerable amount of problems, not only with fairness for people that don't know about it, but the people that do know about it may start to monopolize this type of, this type of acquisition process, if you will, of these GPUs. Here's what I mean. In the same vein that I heard all of these people have positive experiences in getting a GPU, extremely happy. I was able to get one as well through this method. So that part is good news. We discussed how Best Buy as a corporation should probably be more transparent and have these more acknowledged. Even if they have one GPU in stock, they have to make it available, and whoever gets it first, gets it first, and to make it more fair than these little weird workarounds, because this is important. If the general population does not know that it's in stock, aside from us, savvy people that are taking a look at it, that's going to leave only the store employees knowing that these are in stock. So I heard from several of my viewers and comments, check out my other videos, as well as my own experience and experience of other people. This could be a major problem. Now, here are some of the conversations that I had and that I also heard when you're going to get a GPU. So depending on the associate that you ask, like for example, when I went up and first asked for the GPU that I got, they would have no idea that the GPU was in stock. So they went in the back, got it. One of the other associates, who was much more savvy in terms of the computer hardware, he said, "Oh, but I had no idea this was in stock. This is an awesome GPU." So he was very well aware of it, and he even said, "Oh, you could probably sell this for more, etc." Knowing the real market value of the GPU is going to be a lot higher than you can get it for MSRP at Best Buy. Now, from my viewers and other people, I heard various other stories as well. Like, for example, in one case, they asked one associate who said the GPU had sold the previous day and it wasn't showing up in the back anymore. They went, asked a different associate who checked the SKU number, and the GPU was still there. Now, there were also a lot of people saying that some Best Buy employees are able to buy the GPU, because remember, this isn't public knowledge per se. It's a weird glitch in the app, if you will. So they're going to know firsthand that these GPUs are available before really the consumers. And if there's only a couple per store, this is going to give the Best Buy employees with inside information that the GPU is there the ability to buy these GPUs, because most of them are well aware that these are worth much more. And the weird thing is, I would say most of the Best Buy employees are probably not even aware of what these are or if they're in stock. But the ones that typically do work in sort of the computer areas and the ones that are pretty savvy, every store is going to have, a couple of them, because Best Buy, after all, is a technology store. They are very aware. And from some other anecdotal evidence of people asking for the GPU, as soon as they see what the SKU number is, often the associate, they'll start a friendly conversation with, "Oh, so this is what you want, the GPU." A lot of times they didn't even know that it was in stock, or perhaps they would mention other GPUs. They're like, "Oh, we just had this GPU, maybe a 3060 yesterday that sold," or this. So certainly some of the employees are very aware that there's an extremely high demand item, and they know that people want them. And with that knowledge, what stops them from buying it themselves or having one of their friends come in and give them sort of that inside information? Typically, they're buyers like everybody else, not to seem like, they don't have a right to buy it. Often they will. It's still a store. They're a consumer. The problem here is it becomes unfair if they have that insider knowledge. It's just like when you're trading stocks, you can't use insider knowledge to gain an unfair advantage. If the Best Buy app shows that it's out of stock and pickup unavailable, but a Best Buy employee has physical knowledge that that GPU is actually there, that's an unfair advantage for a very high demand product. And considering that Best Buys are going to have, various tech savvy people that are into gaming, into PC hardware, this certainly could be another sort of funnel for these GPUs that should go to a consumer at MSRP, could very easily go to somebody who's going to buy it and then probably scalp it and sell it maybe to that same consumer for a considerable markup. So this is where it's a little bit unfair, and you really can't blame me for saying this, because look at the app itself. If something is in stock, it should stay in stock and not need this, weird app trick that we've been doing to find it. It's nice for the people that have been able to find the GPU, but think about everybody else and think about the insider knowledge that some of these Best Buy employees will have, and potentially that could translate to just more GPUs in the scalper market, or at least not giving a fair opportunity for somebody else to be able to buy this GPU. All right, guys, so let me know what you think of this below. Were you able to get a GPU? Do you think some people may have an unfair advantage that know that the GPU is there beforehand? Do you think Best Buy should maybe change their policy? I mean, it's cool if this stayed a little hidden thing where people get GPUs, but at the end of the day, we wanted to make it fair and really open to everybody in the market, because or else if something stays like this, eventually it'll get exploited up to the point where it's going to be unusable, and most people won't be able to get a GPU with this method anyway. So it's better just to make it fair as soon as we can. All right, guys, so remember to subscribe, smash that like button if you like content like this, and I'll see you guys on the next video.